Good morning. All right, we are live. Let me just get myself set. Stream it up. Gonna change this. How y'all doing? I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. Had an incredible summer. I hope all of you did as well. Let's just start. Fantastic. Okay, all right. So we are live and cooking. Welcome to the first in a couple weeks episodes of Spredict Live. I'm Fred Endy, one of the co-founders of Spredict. Very excited to join you this morning, at least this morning from the New York City area, for our what often is weekly Spredict Live episodes. I'm joining you from my home office and hope you have a great start to the weekend going on. During our Spredict Live episodes, we take a look at current sport, non-sport events, and take a look at our card on the Spredict app, make some predictions, talk a little bit about what's going on across those cards, and then put together a live parlay and see how we do. And of course, in no way is any of what I'm going to share serve as any type of financial or gaming advice. I'm just sharing with you what my thinking is and where I hope to place my money for this fight night. And again, we do this anytime that we have events happening on our Spredict app. I will walk you through how you can place your own predictions on the DApp. No cost, all free, right? So this gives you an opportunity to try us out and see what you think. So, to give you a little bit of a sense of who Spredict is and what we do, we are a very, very small team who loves sports, loves predictive gaming. And a number of years ago, as we started to build up Spredict, we saw that there was a real gap in giving people the opportunity to engage in predictive gaming that was community focused, right? And we also felt that a lot of times predictive gaming felt too easy. Not necessarily too easy to win, but the design of the gaming elements was just really easy to put together, right? There was like nothing that felt innovative about the style or design. And so with Spredict, we've aimed to change that. And so Spredict is built around three foundational elements. One is that we're a subscription service. You basically purchase a Spredict Pass. That gives you access for a month to the sports or non-sport events that you're most passionate about. During that time where your Spredict Pass is active, you compete for points on the leaderboard and have the opportunity to win prizes based on how well you do. So very simple structure, but innovative because you're not making individualized predictions on events. You are competing over a period of time, right? Our goal, we aim to be the Spotify or Netflix of predictive gaming. And one of the things we also believe is predictive gaming should be available to everyone. And so in no way do you need to purchase this Spredict Pass. You can just play for free. And that's what we're going to do today. But to compete for prizes, you'll need a Spredict Pass in the sports that you want to compete around. We also believe, as I shared, that predictive gaming should be innovative. Nobody should have to just pick A, B, or C. And so all of our games involve some sort of strategic element that force you, as the player, to incorporate game theory and other elements of strategic thinking into your picks. So in none of our games will you ever just pick a player or team to win. It's always more complicated, and we hope always more fun for you. And then lastly, our goal is to also be a bespoke predictive gaming platform. You want us to create a gaming card for you and your lounge or your project or your family and friends. We build out the base, we create the structure, you play. And you play for free, you play for whatever prizes you want to put together. But besides the Spredict app, we can create those pools and make them available to you. In short, an innovative community-focused platform that is designed to flip the predictive gaming world on its head. And so that's what we've got with Spredict. So today we're going to take a look at 3 fights from the main card of tonight's fight night in Paris, right? Bonjour, bonjour. Normally we'll do 4 fights, but as is sometimes the case with MMA, with UFC, fighters get sick, fighters drop out, and so our 4th fight, which was involved another French fighter, was switched around. And so when we created our pools, one of the fighters on that card is still listed in there, right? So basically we count it as a non-entry. Okay, so first what I'm going to have you do is go to our website. You can see it down there, right? dap.spredict.io. That will take you to our DAP site. And what I'm going to do, while you pull it up, I'm going to pull it up and going to share my screen so that you can follow along as we talk about the fights and as we make our picks. So let me share. All right, share screen. And let's pull up our DAP. Here we go. Now, hopefully, right, you're looking at the Spredict app. I love a good tea in the morning. All right, so here we go again. You can see it down there, dap.spredict.io. Going to give you a second to join. And by the way, our Spredict is not just a DAP. We have a token, SPI, that will be launching soon. By participating in making your picks now, you also earn XP to be able to claim some SPI on launch. So not only do you get to play for free, you also get to earn towards tokens for free. So like, what could be better than that, you know? So let's take a look at the Spredict app. I'll walk you through it, talk about the design, and then we'll make our picks. So the first thing you'll realize up at the top, you have 2 tabs. You have the Play tab. We're building out the DeFi tab, which is where you'll end up going to see all elements of your rewards, tokens, staking structures that we build into the future. Take you to back to the DApp, right? If you want some instructions, we have a little getting started pop-up. And you'll need to connect your wallet. Now, our DApp is located on Abstract's testnet. And so you'll be able to utilize your utilize the DApp through an Abstract global wallet. You can also connect via other wallets as well. And consider joining us in our Telegram and via our socials. We can help you with anything you need to get started and to try us out for free. Right? And we hope you'll find us to be the portal you enjoy most. So you can see my wallet is now connected. Right side of our DApp, you'll see the live odds for our pools. And then, let's see, you'll end up also going to all of our socials along the bottom. This is great. I think Max updated our pool, so we can even do a live look at Oki and Jones and make a pick, right, and see what we want to do. So all our socials, right, live odds as players make picks. Those odds change, of course, right? And then on the left-hand side, you'll see elements of our games: Face Off, Tap Out, Formula One. We're building out elements of each of these. for you to enjoy, right? Formula One, of course, the Formula One season going on now, and we're building out our crypto price prediction as well. You'll see there's a rewards tab down at the bottom too, and then our two games, right? When our Spredict passes go live, you'll be able to get your Spredict pass here by clicking and using this button. And in the center is where you'll see the games and our picks. We are on the live event tab. Your past results will show up in the past results tab, right? As you can see there, right? And they are not recorded currently, right? But will be. Leaderboard is being built out. That leaderboard will help you to see your points over the course of the week as we compete for Spredict Pass points. And then in the center, you've got some instructions on gameplay as well as our pools. So let's take a look through these pools, right? What we'll do, I'm going to run through the three pools that I've got prepped, right? And so the Oki, the Jones, Max swapped up when one of our fighters was not competing anymore. So that'll be fun. We can go back and look at that. But let's start with the ones that I've taken a look at and where I've done a little bit of thinking and research and where I'll be putting my my parlay around. And so we'll start with the fight between Modestas Bukauskas, right? Lithuania. He's 18-6-0. And Paul Craig, a name that if you're in MMA, you've probably heard before, 17-9-1 of Scotland. This is a light heavyweight division fight, which is so funny, right? Like, you're light, but you're a heavyweight, right? So it's a good oxymoron. Both of these fighters are 6'3", right? They weigh close to 205 pounds. So like there's a difference of 2 or 3 pounds for these two, which won't make a difference with guys in this division. Paul Craig is fairly older, 37, right? Bukauskas, 31. That age difference could be a factor. You know, our light heavyweights, stamina can sometimes be a challenge. Of course, as you get older, it's really hard to keep that same level of stamina. Bukauskas is stronger on the takedown game from an accuracy standpoint. Craig, though, however, is more apt to go, at least for the ground game. Bukauskas left UFC for a couple years, came back in 2023. He has looked great. 5 wins, 1 loss. It's really hard. Really shows an ability to punish opponents. Dropped Sakara with a knockout, Kudalaba in a split decision most recently. What's fascinating to note is those two fights were a few weeks apart, February, March in 2025. So this guy loves fighting. You know how rare it is for fighters to have more than one fight a year in many cases, let alone 2 in the course of 2 months, right? So that is impressive, if nothing else. I am not particularly bullish on Paul Craig. He has not looked significantly good to me for some time. Last win was 2 years ago, and it was through like a series of intense elbows against Andre Muniz. I didn't find that win particularly compelling. He's notched 1 win among 7 fights since 2022. His last fight was a no contest, an accidental fall from a foul from an up kick. Both of these fighters have really shown some challenge in their careers, but given the style, strengths, Bukauskas would have my pick here. I'm going to lock him in for a win on my parlay. He's favored at 370, which is sizable. It's not going to be a fight that's going to bring me significant return on my parlay, but I just can't look to the underdog and Craig on this fight. So what I'm going to do is lock in my pick, right? To do that, I'm going to go to the light heavyweight line. I'm going to click on Bukauskas. You're going to see that's going to turn that box purple. One of the things you'll notice is there's a star next to his name. So you know how I had talked about building games that have added elements, right? So one of the things we built into our UFC game, at least for Face Off, right? For the game that we're playing currently, is what we call the favorite feature, and the idea is very simple. As players make selections, right, we lock those in on chain. When there's a favorite, right, the star appears for that favorite. Right, and so Bukauskas, right, is the favorite so far of everyone who's locked in their picks. When the pools close, wherever that star is, whoever the favorite is, right? Let's say Bukauskas wins and he is the favorite. If I pick Bukauskas and I am competing for Spredict pass points on the leaderboard, if Bukauskas wins, I earn 1 point. However, let's say I picked Craig as a contrarian play, and Craig is the underdog when the pools lock. If Craig wins and I've picked him, I may earn 2 points or 3, depending on the style of the game. So the idea is that an underdog pick that's correct earns you more points than going with the chalk, going with the favorite. So it adds an additional element. You're not just picking who you think is going to win. You're trying to make a determination as to whether the underdog selection in this game will end up benefiting you long term, right, as you play for points. So again, simple idea, but adds great complication and a lot more fun to the style of the game. So let's move on to, right, so all makes sense, sound good, right? You're feeling good. Bukauskas, right, clearly to me seems like the selection there. We're going to move on to our lightweight battle between Benoit Saint Denis, right, and Mauricio Rufy, right? So the lightweight and middleweight fights are fights I'm extremely excited about. Right, this is like we've got our two top fights on the card with a Frenchman versus a Brazilian, right, which is kind of funny. Benoit Saint Denis, 14-3. Mauricio, 12-1. Now, Mauricio's favored at 190, so he's got some backing, according to Vegas. Close match, though, from an odds standpoint. There is almost nothing about these two fighters that's different physically, right? Height, weight, age, all the same. Mauricio has a couple additional inches of reach. Doesn't seem like it's going to be impact bearing on his ability to control the fight in this case. Accuracy of significant strikes, just about the same for these two. Takedown percentage is different. Saint Denis enjoys much more ground and pound than Rufy does. Benoit's had he had a really solid submission a few months ago against Prepelec. He lost to Moicano and Poirier previous to that, but had a really impressive KO of Frivola. Benoit is versatile enough with his hands and feet to be a pretty solid opponent in the octagon. He is 6 wins, 3 losses since entering the UFC in 2021, right? So of those 9 fights, 6 in his favor. He really knows how to play the crowd. This, I forgot to mention, I did say this is in Paris, right? At the Accor Arena. The Parisians in general, if you watch any fights held in Paris, get significantly behind French fighters. And always there's home advantage, but The French, in particular, are incredibly loud for their fighters. And so that is something that needs to be kept in mind. This guy is going to be a fan favorite for sure. He's nuts. I mean, he is. He's crazy when you watch how he engages the crowd, how he acts after his wins. He he will be somebody who the crowd will be cheering for sure. Now, Rufy's no slouch. He's won his last 7 fights, which is really impressive. And he's one of those fighters who really wins via knockout, right? Like that is his dimension. I have not seen a lightweight fighter throw punches as hard as this man does. And so it's no wonder that he is so significantly strong in the knockout angle. He's a guy where his power makes a significant difference. I don't see him as agile or technical as many other fighters, and I'm not saying that's an area of strength necessarily for Saint Denis, but Rufy is not in my eyes, a very strategic fighter. I do see him as being able to pummel though opponents until they can't take it anymore, and that, of course, is a huge part of how UFC works. So this is his 4th fight since entering the program. I think this is going to be a tough match for both of these guys, to be honest, and might be though I love the main event. This might be the most interesting of the matches. I love Rufy's power. I love Saint Denis' versatility. In a in a spot where neither of the fighters had home ring advantage, right? Had home octagon advantage. I might end up going with Rufy on the power factor alone, but Saint Denis is so good at manipulating the crowd that I believe that has to have a factor. And since they are fairly close, in my opinion, in skill set and opportunity, I'm going with the Frenchman to take this fight. And I'll lock in what will be my first underdog pick of the card, at least according to Vegas, right? So that'll hopefully, when I win, build me in a more solid earnings for my parlay. So let's go on to the main event. This is going to be, I hope, please, a fantastic main event. Got a Nassourdine Imavov, who is just a Chad. The guy is insane, out of control fighter, right? From France, 16-4, facing off against Caio Borralho, 17-1 of Brazil. Borralho is at 130, so this is a really great matchup from two solid fighters. Kudos to UFC for putting together a main event for fight night that is so even. Imavov is 2 inches taller, 6'3", 6'1", has a slight edge in age. He's 29. Borralho is 32. Both fighters are even on significant strength accuracy, right around 60%. So great with their striking skills. Borralho is stronger in the ground game. It's worth noting Imavov hasn't lost a fight since 2023. If you take out what was really a tough loss to Strickland that year for Imavov, he hasn't lost a fight since 2021, right? So this is a guy who the last 4 years has really refined his fighting style, right? So he's 29 now. He really has capitalized on his fight ability since he was 24, 25, which is fantastic. He had a solid win against Dolice, which is great. A questionable win against Cannonier, right? A major knockout against the GOAT, Adesanya, right? That to have a solid win against Izzy Adesanya is worth noting. So Imavov has fought some solid UFC fighters. The sniper, as he's called, is really positioned for good things in the middleweight division. And a win here could put him on tap for a fight against Chimaev, right? Who, is a beast as well. And that would be an insane fight between the two. On the other side, we have Barajo, right? So that could also, a win here for Barajo could really support his growth in the division. The natural, as he's called, hasn't lost a fight since 2016. That's crazy, right? His fight sheet isn't as stellar, in my opinion, as Imavov, right? He did beat Cannonier, stretched his fighting chops. He's got wins via decision, knockout, submission. Both of these guys hit really hard, right? I think Baralho is a bit of a gutsier fighter and some the chances that he takes. But we have this is, I mean, a fantastic main event. Great motivation for both to win. And great opportunity with a win for both fighters. As I've said before, home factor is huge. I think home factor makes a big difference when fighters are pretty close in skill sets. Given Imavov's standing in the division, his chance to go against the champ with a win here, I'm going to go with Imavov as a slight underdog at home. I hope this is a close and really good fight. Imavov will need to really watch the ground game, in my opinion. But I do see a decision going to Imavov in this one, setting him up for a battle with the champ, and the Accor Arena going absolutely fucking crazy with this win. Right? So I'm going to lock in my pick for Imavov. I think he's got a real chance. It's pretty funny that the two French versus Brazilians, I've gone all French, right? And let's take a quick look at our last fight. I'm going to pull up these two the two fight cards for these two, and we'll take a look and do a little strategizing on air while I do. Right, here's the link so you can get in and make your picks too. Pull up their MMA their MMA cards. I love that. We've got Baralho and Rufy as the Fighting Nerds. Fantastic team. All right, so I've got swinging here, Oki and Mason Jones. So here's what we got. So Oki, Bolahi Oki, right, is 10-2. Mason Jones, 16-2. Oki from Belgium, Jones from Wales. These two guys, very, very similar in height, weight, age. Reach is significantly similar. This is going to be a great pick. Significant strike accuracy, almost entirely the same. Takedown accuracy, very, very close. With Jones having slightly lower accuracy, but going for significantly more ground game pushes in a given fight. Jones is favored at 140. Let me pull up their last few fights. Okay. All right. Oki's been in UFC really just for a year in his 3 fights in 3 fights in. He's 2 for 3. A split decision win, a loss via submission in the first round, and then a win most recently in March by unanimous decision. Okay, interesting. And then before that, let's see when he started fighting in 2018 with a loss. Gone to 3 different programs for a few fights, and then came to the UFC back in 2024. Okay, it's interesting. Jones, let's look at Mason Jones. Pull up his card. Oh, very nice. Last five fights, all wins. Oh, fantastic. Jones is a new fighter, entered UFC just in May. Wow. Okay, fought in May. Jeremy Stevens, unanimous win. Let's look. Started fighting 2017. Oh, interesting. All right. Spent 2 years in UFC. In 2021, notched one win, two losses, and a no contest. Oh, hmm. Oh, this is cool. This is a really cool fight. Um, you've got two newer fighters. You've got one who has been building towards UFC career, kind of tough last few fights. You've got another who is in UFC, wasn't the right time yet, maybe, right? We don't know. Went back, rejoined Cage Warriors, had a fantastic series of a couple years, now came back, dove in with a win in May. Oh, amazing. Awesome. So, it's a lot of fun. Um, Shit, this is going to be a tough one. I'm going okay. So here's what I like. I love return stories. I love when fighters come back and have a go again. Right, we've seen that with a number of fighters where they enter the program fairly early. It isn't the right fit for them at the current time. They come back and they blast off, right? Or sometimes the program just doesn't work for them, right? So what I love in this case, first, I don't see enough from either fighter to feel compelled by their styles or strengths to pick on that alone. But um, I like the return story for Jones. I like the fact that he's more aggressive on the ground game. I think that has the potential to make a difference on Oki. I like that he's coming off a really solid string of fights with a last win with his return to the UFC. I love that both fighters have fought recently and are looking to build on those wins. This is a good one. Nice ad, Max. I'm going to go with the slight favorite on this one and lock in my pick for Jones. I like the potential. I think it's a solid enough line where could be a bit of a decent boost to my parlay. Little nervous about adding that pick just because I don't know enough about the guys, but I'm committed to doing it as long as the pick can be made. So once I've made those picks, I've locked them in. I'm going to validate my prediction. I'll get a little pop-up asking me to approve. I'll do that. And then my pick should be locked. If I refresh, my pick should turn purple, showing I'm locked in. I should get a little message at the top. Relax, your prediction is validated, right? So I am all good to go with my picks for tonight's fight night. I'll lock in my parlay. I'll share on X my reasoning behind these picks. I wish you all an amazing series of picks for tonight's fight night. I hope you win a little bit of money as well if you're going to bet. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for being users of Spredict. We love having you utilize what we've built and take part in building our community. And we look forward to having you join our token launch as we get a little bit closer. More to come there. Have a great weekend. See you all soon. And thanks again.